Who gonna pop me? Nobody.
Ain't nobody at home to pop. You single. You can say what you want and go home by yourself.
Well, yeah.
Now, I want y'all to understand something, brothers. I want y'all to look at how, yo, look at how when he said that, you can say what you want to say, then go home by yourself. And she said, well, yeah. She hadn't even thought about it.
Everybody wants a Proverbs 31 woman until you realize that the Proverbs 31 man was rich. He was rich. See, and this is how I know that America has a literacy problem, because people do not read for context anymore. The story or the proverb behind Proverbs 31 is a young man, a young king, King Lemuel, who is repeating what his mother told him about how to select a wife as a man of wealth and stature, what he needs to look for in a woman, and what that woman will do for him once he gets her as his wife. So in that, he's literally saying, this is what my mama put me up on game on, as a rich man, how to find that type of woman. While a majority of men, right, are not rich, the reason why this book is in Proverbs is because the wisdom in what he's talking about. In order for you to have a Proverbs 31 wife, you have to be a Proverbs 31 man of wisdom, because Proverbs even talks about how wisdom is actually better than having wealth. Because essentially wisdom will bring about wealth. You cannot be wise and completely broke, right? Because a wise man, he prepares for different seasons. He has multiple streams of income. He knows how to take care of himself in different seasons, right? I'm going further into the Bible, but Paul talks about, I know in Philippians 4, I know how to be a base, and I know how to be abound. I know what to do when money looking funny, and I know what to do when I'm up. But the emphasis on Proverbs 31 women in the church without an emphasis on being a Proverbs 31 man. For example, in Proverbs 31, one of the attributes of her is that she goes out to look at land and then she purchases it. In biblical times, women did not have power. They did not have access to money. And so whose money do you think that she was using to purchase that land? Whose money do you think was paying for the maidens that she had, which means that she was also a woman of support. She had support in her life in order to accomplish the things that she did. She had skills such as sewing and weaving so she could make clothes. Do you think that the average woman in that time had time to sew silk and scarlet and all these different things to put together? No, they were surviving. So the Proverbs 31 woman is actually a well-kept woman. She is a woman who has access to all of the king's resources, or some of the king's resources, so that way she can run her household in a way that brings about even more wealth. The Proverbs 31 man is well connected. He has access to elders and people that respect him. So he's not just a king who throws his weight around. He is somebody that the elders respect. People see him and they're not in fear. They actually enjoy seeing him. And there's a good report about his wife and what she's doing in the community. In order for the Proverbs 31 woman to exist, the Proverbs 31 man has to exist first. Now for women, if you desire to be a Proverbs 31 woman, you have to stop dealing with men who have not accomplished the beginning of Proverbs 31, where the mom talks about the attributes that a wise man has. We need to stop dating men who do not have wisdom, especially my high achieving Christian women. If you wouldn't trade lives with him, if you wouldn't be under his leadership, if you wouldn't trust him to make decisions on your behalf, if you can't come to him for advice, that is not the man that you need to be connected with. We have to be smarter in the decisions that we make. Don't tell me that you're a Proverbs 31 woman. Don't tell me that you're a high value woman, a high caliber woman, a woman of high emotional intelligence, but your partner or the people that you're dating or allowing in your space do not reflect that. You need to ensure that the gifts that you have cultivated and the work that you have done, the healing work, and if you haven't, check out Trauma Languages in where LINKSs go. But you need to ensure that the work that you do matches the partner that you have. Okay? So you need to make better decisions too, right? But don't let people bamboozle you that the Proverbs 31 woman will bring about the Proverbs 31 man. No, the Proverbs 31 man exists, and he allows and makes room for the Proverbs 31 woman who already has cultivated some of those skills to come in and add to the kingdom that he has. Food for thought.
Tell us the truth! All right, so what's good, man? What's good? It's your man, Dr. BOA. Welcome back to the Book of AlphaRonomy channel. Good to see you, YouTube. All right, man. So single women brag about being single so much that they don't even understand how terrible that existence is. They have no idea how embarrassed they should be to be in their 30s and be single. Because that means you're probably going to be single from now on. It means that the man that you should be with, you already passed him by. That means that you've developed some things in your life where the high quality man that every woman thinks she deserves is going to pass you by. And it means that you're angry. There are no single women in their 30s who aren't angry. Certainly not in their 40s. And in their 50s, they ain't angry no more. They absolutely pissed. But I want y'all to understand something. You put a camera in front of a woman and a microphone, and she'll act like she's happily single. But she's not. And here's an example of that. This woman brags about being single and how it gives her authority and nobody can tell her nothing. And man, let me tell you something. The way this brother shuts her down, she literally can't even respond. Watch how fast she goes from rah-rah to ah. It's crazy. And then we'll come back and chop it up on a real tip.
Fuck I want. Who gonna pop me? Nobody.
There ain't nobody at home to pop. You single. You can say what you want and go home by yourself.
Oh yeah.
Now, I want y'all to understand something, brothers. I want y'all to look at how, look at how when he said that, you can say what you want to say, then go home by yourself. And she said, well, yeah. She hadn't even thought about it. That exclamation let you know she hadn't even thought about it from that perspective. A woman lives in a fantasy world, bro. She can tell herself what's bad is good and what's good is bad, and she'll believe it. And that's what we have here. We have a case of a woman who's single and doesn't want to be. You understand? A lot of these women, man, they're attractive enough where they could have a man if their mindset was right, if their mentality was right, if their energy was positive. And they know that. But what happens in this world, being attractive isn't enough. Because you're going to come into contact with men who put you on a pedestal because you're attractive. But deep down inside, no woman wants that. No woman needs that. A woman needs a man that forces her to achieve. A woman needs a man that forces her to believe. A woman needs a man who forces her to put her best effort forward in everything she does for her household every day. A woman needs that. You think I'm lying? Well, look how much effort they put into their own household when they're single. She needs that. She needs a man that's not going to come rescue her. She needs a man that's not going to yada awakening her life. That's what she needs. We live in a society that's telling women that being single is a power move. It's not. It's a sucker move. A single woman in her 30s, she literally has no value to anyone. She works, she has a value to her company. If she's a boss, she has value to her employees. But you find her, even if she has employees, there's one of two types. There's the type that's just so sensitive and overrun with emotional stress from the past that she just can't stand up for herself and she's too nice. And then there's the one who's an absolute B to everybody that comes around. And when I talk about B, I ain't talking about the bzzz type of B. And I want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to keep in mind that the average woman you meet is single by force, not by choice. There is no woman who's single by choice. Any woman who says she's single by choice, yes, she's saying it's by choice because she's choosing not to accept the quality of men she's been reduced to now that she's wasted her prime years. You understand what I'm saying? Now that she's wasted her prime years, bro, I'm going to tell you, man, and it's not just American society or Western culture, man. Listen, let me tell you something. There are women in every culture who waste their youth. A woman's youth between 20 and 30 is the time to secure a husband. A woman got two choices. She can spend the time between 20 and 30 securing a husband, or she can spend the time between 20 and 30 getting an education, and then spend the time between 30 and 40 securing the bag, and then end up 50 talking about where all the good men at. All the good men is catching the women who wanted to find a husband when they was in their 20s, when they was between 20 and 30. The good man ain't looking for you at 50 when all you've been doing is chasing the bag your whole life. Because let me tell y'all something about a woman who's been chasing the bag her whole life. A woman who's been chasing the bag her whole life, by the time she 50, she tired of chasing the bag. So she don't want to chase. She don't even have the benefit of being a woman to chase the bag no more. She ready to sit down somewhere. She burnt out. A man at 50 that's chasing the bag, we just be hitting our stride. Like at 50, dog, I don't care how much money you done made. At 50, we just be hitting our stride. Literally just be hitting our stride. The most productive years of a man's life financial, you look at the wealthiest men, their most productive years were between 50 and 60. It don't matter how much money they had made before that. Their most productive years where they had the biggest financial increase was between 50 and 60. I'm telling you, brother, there's a light that turns on. You have mastered life. You have mastered money. You've become the frivolous person that you know you're supposed to be. You become not frivolous, but frugal. You become the frugal person that you're always supposed to be. So you ain't spending no money on no expensive cars. You ain't spending no money on no expensive clothes. You ain't spending. You've already done that already. Now you at the point where everything you make becomes investments and savings, charity. You ain't tricking off no money even on yourself no more. But when a woman hit that point and she been getting to the bag, she ready to sit down somewhere. She wants somebody to make her an honest woman. She wants somebody to provide for her. But she can't do nothing. By that point, as a man, dog, you want a woman that understands it's her sole responsibility to take care of home. Sole responsibility. And I don't want no woman that just gonna sit around while I pay a maid and a chef and a butler and a cook. And I don't want a woman that gonna sit around while I do all that. Because what's her effort in the household? She just showed up. And there's some suckers out here. Hey man, if you the type of man where a woman just got to show up, where you built everything you got so you can add a woman to it, man, that's on you if that's what you want to do. But for those of us who don't want to do that, I'm telling you, brothers, it don't make sense. So by the time a woman has been doing that, man, she burnt. This one right here, man, she burnt. You understand me? She's burnt. And that's just the way it is, man. You know, there's no other way to say it. There's no other way to determine what a woman's value is except to know that when she's between her 20s and when she's between 20 and 30, that's the most value she'll ever have in life to you as a wife. There is no such thing as a woman who has more value as a wife between 30 and 40 than she did between 20 and 30. It's just not the case. And so any woman who doesn't get married until she's in her 30s, I promise you, bro, it is not going to be the man that she wants. It is not, if you married a woman that was in her 30s, you are not the man she wants. I'm telling you, you may fit the position of husband that she wants in her life. So there's requirements and qualifications she wants for that position. Like she vetted you like you the wife and then put you in the position. But you are not the man that she wants. And the man that she wants, you let him pop up in town out the blue. You let her be at a conference somewhere and he there too. Oh, you might as well get ready, brother. Because there's going to be some backbreaking going on and you ain't going to be the breaker of the backs. I'm telling you. And she going to come home and she going to be just such the perfect angel that you going to be bragging about how good your wife is, how phenomenal she is, how she doing all this, how she taking care of you, how you doing all that. And then you wonder why she came straight home, man. And you know that you know that dome, that head you be waiting on your birthday. You wonder why you got it early this year. Because she's still aroused by the man that she was just with. I want y'all to understand something, bro. These type of scenarios happen all the time. And I'm not making it up. Y'all know I ain't making it up. There's some guys out here that are that dude that popped up at the function, at the convention, at the conference. And we'll tell you that this is what happens, brothers. So just remember, man, you got to be aware of the woman who professes that she's happily single or single by choice. And she's in her 30s and 40s. She's not single by choice. It's by force. And if you believe that she is single by choice, I got a flying horse I'll sell you. Flies faster than a Delta plane. If you pay a little extra, I'll put a unicorn horn on the face for you.